How is it going, y'all? Hi. Let me know in the comments if you're not a color guard person. I know we talk about a lot of color guard stuff, but there are also some dancers who are following me. So let me know if you're a dancer. Let me know which part of the country you're from, too, while we wait for Miss Jackie. So, I don't know. It's been really interesting thinking about the possibility of not having a season. I mean, I just got off the phone with my band director slash friend earlier, and he was saying, I mean, the governing body that kind of facilitates our marching band competitions is called UIL here in Texas. It stands for University Interscholastic League, but they set all the rules and the deadlines and things like that. But rather than canceling our season, they are going to push back the dates of the competition. So like our big UIL marching band competition, that's the big one for the year, is supposed to be in December. So I don't know. I'm not used to having marching band in December, so that's so crazy. Like, oh, here she goes. Yeah, and we're also not allowed to use our marching band uniforms for fear of the spreading of COVID. But hey, but at the same time, they want us to be in our summer uniforms in December. Shorts and a polo. I don't think that's a really good idea.
No, I agree. I'm looking for something. So I had a slight technical difficulty and had to switch from my wonderful iPad that is elderly to my phone, and I don't have like a stand right here for it. So we're just gonna do this.
I'm on top of the handle.
I'm gonna put mine on top of my diffuser. So here we go. Hi.
Oils. Hey, I was informing everybody that our big state competition is going to happen in December. They haven't canceled the state competition, which is really weird.
It is, because I don't know if you saw BOA canceled just the other day, and TOB canceled. In fact, of like my judging competitions, the only circuit that I judged for that I have not heard anything from yet is US Bands. But like I literally haven't heard anything from them. Like we haven't even done judges training or anything. And usually by this point in the season, like in the summer, we're doing stuff.
Yeah, I don't know, man. We're supposed to be having our big competition in December, but they won't let us wear our marching uniforms, but they will allow them to wear their summer uniform, which is a polo and shorts. But how, like, do you really want our students to wear that in December? It doesn't sound like a good idea.
Not at all.
You want people to catch a cold in the midst of a pandemic? Really?
Right?
That it makes no sense. Oh my God.
Speaking like, okay, when you have your marching season in Texas, you usually are done in November, right?
End of October, November, depending on if you advance to state, area and state and things like that.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. And it probably doesn't get very cold at that point. And so that's kind of probably what they're thinking, isn't it?
Maybe. I don't know. Towards the end of the season, in like the end of October, November, it's gotten like cold before. But I mean, cold in Texas is really different than cold in like the East Coast. So, I don't know, but but another thing we can talk about is drill. How is drill supposed to work if we're supposed to be 6 to 10 feet apart?
really, really big intervals and really, really get good at holding your intervals and not creeping up on each other, because you creep up on somebody and you sneeze, can't help you.
Or you're blowing hot air at them out of your trumpet.
True. Did you see that study that they did? I just kind of saw, I didn't get to read the whole thing. I just kind of saw it in passing. They did a study actually of how much spit goes through an instrument and comes out, and how far it can go. I like I said, I didn't read through the whole thing, so I don't actually know what the results ended up being, but I remember people like freaking out about this, because you can eject your spit pretty far through an instrument.
Yeah, that doesn't surprise me because a sneeze can go really far.
Exactly. Yeah, like 6 feet, I don't feel like is enough.
No, they're telling us they're telling us if kids are going to be playing their instruments outside, even if it's outside, they need to be. I might be misquoting actually, but 10 feet if you're playing your instruments. I don't. There's some kind of stipulation like indoor versus outdoor,
Hmm.
but there's that number I've seen. We are only required 3 feet of distance for drill.
Oh God.
That's enough.
Well, but here's the thing: are you wearing masks? Is the question. Because that was in Michigan. If we were wearing our masks, then no problem. Less than 6 feet, we can be less than 6 feet. We just can't be touching each other, whatever. But when we got into actual block, we had to be over 6 feet apart in order to take off our masks and spin and what have you. And it is hard to spin in a mask. I'm not going to deny that. I'm normally one of those who's like gung ho, like, yeah, I can spin through anything. But it's like breathing is important. And they have cotton masks. Oh, I should have brought. I didn't even think about it. Hanes makes these lovely cotton masks that are t-shirt material and so soft, and they still have a wire so you can wrap it around your nose. Strongly recommend those. I've been wearing one of those for the last couple days, and it's way more comfortable. I understand they're not as much protection as the N95 masks are, which is what I've had for a while now, but they're way more comfortable to wear, especially if you have to wear for long periods of time.
Good to know, because ugh, my least favorite thing is just that I can't freaking breathe, dude. How am I supposed to breathe if I'm gonna be running around a football field waving my flag around? Or if you're on dance team, like how is that supposed to work? I also somebody in this dance teacher Facebook group that I'm in was saying that there was an article that was posted that was stating that there's research to support that dancing in a mask is dangerous for whatever reasons that I am unaware of, but somebody brought that up, and I think it's just interesting to consider.
There's been a lot of stuff that I think that's part of where all like the false information and stuff is coming from too. Like that's like I've seen something similar. It wasn't about dancing specifically, but just about breathing heavily in a mask and working out in a mask is dangerous. And it's really not. I mean, unless you're wearing like a plastic mask, which I hope no one's out there wearing plastic masks. Um, there's really you're not a lot of what they cited and said was you're rebreathing so much carbon dioxide, but it's not true. Like the carbon dioxide is escaping. What you're holding in is like the liquid droplets from your breath, and
Yeah.
like air is way smaller than liquid droplets. Like you have to get so many molecules together to make a liquid droplet, and like science teacher science teacher thing here again. Like you have to have so many molecules together to actually make a liquid droplet that's large enough for the virus to ride on. And those molecules of carbon dioxide are so small, they're getting out. It's fine. There are a lot of like really watch this. We talked a little bit about it last night toward the end. About like there were some people saying that OSHA was saying it's dangerous to work in a mask. And if you go to the OSHA website, it says right there that it is not dangerous to work in a mask. You need to be wearing a mask. So there's people just blatantly saying the opposite of what's out there and then not citing their sources too. So really,
Sources are important.
absolutely.
Wow. Wow. But so yeah, just kind of to revisit the topic of how we as educators are going to what happened.
No, I'm saying we just got so off track with all of this
Oh,
stuff.
it's you and me. We talk about everything. But it's fun. Uh, My mom brain just totally killed the thought I had in my head. I totally.
Let's go back and look at some comments here because we have a whole bunch from WSMS Color Guard. California, they're threatening to ticket people in public. Our schools are closed, aren't able to use the facilities, trying to teach newbies to spin. The wind is not, no, it is not easy. Oh my gosh, we had to deal with the wind in Michigan. We do things online. It is very challenging with participation. So how are you, so you're doing online classes. You're doing online classes exclusively, right? You're not doing anything in person right now.
I mean, if I meet with them, it's supposed to be virtual, but I haven't really met with them, but just a few times to kind of touch base and say, hi, how are you doing? We
So
have,
what are you doing to like motivate them to work on stuff to keep them like interested in just the virtual stuff? Because that can be hard.
well, to be perfectly honest, I haven't done a ton to motivate them because my band director, he specifically did not want us to do a ton because he doesn't want to give anybody a reason to say that, oh, well, you guys can teach band online. Why do we need to pay you? Why do we need to have X amount of band directors for like a live class? So he was like, let's not overexert ourselves because we don't want to put ourselves in a position where people can take our positions away or keep us from adding more people to our staff, which I think is really smart.
Yeah.
So honestly, I haven't done a lot. I did, however, for all of my new friends, my new people on the team, I gave them links to I gave them links to your drop spins video and I think a couple of your technique videos. Shout out. It's so helpful. It's already there. I don't have to reinvent the wheel. Just copy and paste the link. Ugh, so great. And then
Oh, making those.
seriously, it's so helpful. And then I think my leadership team went to our local university's like color guard virtual leadership camp. It wasn't a leadership camp, it was a color guard camp, but it was virtual. And so he actually he sent me all the videos to that because I asked him if my girls even showed up because I hadn't heard anything about it. Anyway, not the point. I got videos to that, so I just kind of sent it to them and said, hey, I want you to work on this in the meantime. But I haven't followed up or anything with them yet. I'm just kind of waiting to see what happens next.
Gotcha. I feel like I've had so little contact with any of my team. It's like Sam and I have kept in a really good contact, but we always kind of do, and everybody else has been kind of sporadic. And I'm constantly like messaging our group chat and being like, hey, can you guys like let's do something together, let's make a video, let's have a group chat or something. We actually have been talking about doing a Spintronix 20 reunion, like Zoom call or something, and filming all that. But it's been really difficult, I feel like, to get in touch with everybody because we have such separate lives so far away from each other. And it's, yeah, it's tough.
Yeah, it's tough. It's a toughie. But I think the next idea I'm going to do is I'm just going to try to keep it light. I'm going to keep it fun. I want to incorporate some of those virtual team building games and activities. The Netflix party, I definitely want to do. I had no idea that was a thing. I feel like a lot of people are going to be like, where have you been, Ashley? But I'm
I
going to
did it before till you told me just now. So
thank you. We can be old together. I just want to do things that are fun for them. I feel like they've been cooped up. They just want to socialize. They want to have fun. I honestly, at this point, I'm gonna worry about the color guard component of it later. I just want them to have fun and to find community and family and belonging within our organization. So I could give a crap if they can do a drop spin right now, to be perfectly honest. I will teach you that later. It's
mhm.
You'll learn it. If we do easy choreography, that's fine. I think we really need to just make sure that we prioritize just making them feel like lifting their spirits again. I
Yeah.
would prioritize that over making sure that they can really execute a toss right now because I could care less. We'll get to the
Yeah, and I think that was something like that was one of Justin's points last night too. Really, like he wanted to drive home was like don't worry about the technique about it, worry about the fun of it, and just like the socializing and I mean we're all here because we love to do color guard. Like yeah, some people are here because they really want those medals, or some people are here just because their friends are here, but in the end, like we all enjoy something about color guard so much that we keep coming back to it.
there's a component to it that keeps us coming back.
Yeah, if people who are just medal chasers, to quote that, they just want medals, they can go to any other sport and go get medals. You know, you can go do something else and get medals too. It's something about color guard that keeps us coming back to color guard. So what is it? And I think this is a good time for us to explore that. And like you were saying earlier, just explore the arts side of the sport of the arts, because
Y'all said that yesterday. I was just reiterating.
a lot of things were said between yesterday and today too.
Yes. But yeah, you know, I mean, it's unfortunate because like we don't know what Winter Guard is going to look like, and I think a lot of us really look forward to just doing our thing out there on the floor, on the field. But I think if we just kind of shift our mindset and we pivot and we kind of acknowledge that this is what it is, but we need to pivot and maybe we just focus on something else right now, focus on that the other components of color guard that we can still celebrate and embrace. It's all about perspective, you know. Your mindset is it's going to make you or it's going to break you. So if we want to sit around and continue to be sad that the possibility of like WGI happening is like likely, sure, you can be sad, but do you know, I personally don't want to sit in my misery forever. I would rather like be like, okay, this sucks, but there is more to life than this, and color guard will come back. Winter guard will come back. Well, not for everybody. So I guess that's a little privileged of me to say. Some people, this is their senior year or their age out. I don't know what's going to happen with that.
A question that kind of scrolled through the comments earlier, what we think. We're not affiliated with WGI as far as like understanding any of their ideas and their policies and stuff. So I don't want to like speak on their behalf, but somebody was asking, do you think that they will push the age out back another season if we have to cancel this season? I can doing that personally. There's been some push to change the age out year even anyways. So I mean, I wouldn't be surprised if they did it. I guess I would say it that way. I wouldn't be surprised if they did it.
Yeah, and I mean, there's probably lots of other things that go into it that we don't know about, you know, just from a business standpoint, but also from a business standpoint, I feel as though the more people you include, the more money you are going to probably bring in.
True.
And, you know, we're not really in a position to turn away money. So I don't know. That's just my 2 cents. I have no idea. I'm just a bunch of cells, molecules floating. I don't know what I'm talking about.
You are cells and molecules talking about their own cells and molecules and what they make. Crazy.
Oh, man. But yeah, you know, I really kind of want to know how all those people out there, all of our people watching, like how they're doing, you know, like, yes, this sucks, but like, are you okay? Are you dealing with it okay? Hey, Brazil, Portuguese. I love when you speak Portuguese.
Hola, Brasil. Tudo bem, amigos?
Oh my God, how do you do that?
Eu não sei.
Wow. I was watching, this is completely different. This is not on topic at all. But I got obsessed with 90 Day Fiancé when I was pregnant, and one of the couples featured they like went to Brazil. And so when you speak like that, it makes me think of her, and I'm like, oh my God, that's so crazy.
Yeah, I don't know. It's not 100% easy. It's kind of like changing gears in your brain. You have to be like, okay, here's the clutch, and okay, to the bim.
Do you know how to drive stick?
No, no. My dad tried teaching me. I grew up on a farm, of course. So my dad tried teaching me, and instead of having like a cool sports car or something to learn on, he had a dump truck. He was going to teach me to drive stick on a dump truck. It was awful, awful. And I never, I don't know, I've never been able to do it. I've tried. I can't do it.
That's awesome. Guess what? So, speaking of which, guess what I'm doing this weekend?
You're doing this weekend?
I'm not doing it, but my baby daddy, we're not married yet, but my partner,
Mm-hmm.
he has a drifting event this weekend, you know, like Too Fast, Too Furious.
Ooh.
He has a drifting competition meet thing, so it's down by the beach, so we kind of figured let's make it a family trip. We got a little beach house, and I have a friend who's coming over to house sit and dog sit this weekend.
That's amazing. Oh, I love it so much.
I'm so excited to just get away and get out.
That's so awesome. And that's totally cool that you guys aren't married yet. I mean, my husband and I, we got married and we don't have kids yet, so we just celebrated our third anniversary, so it's kind of like
Oh, I thought you said 30th. Third year.
third.
Nice. Congrats, Jackie. That's great. That's great. But yeah, you know, I really wonder how everyone is doing. I feel like I don't ask that enough. Maybe I do. I don't know. But I don't know. I wonder how everyone is doing given everything that's going on.
I think our social climate says a lot about it because of just, I mean, granted, there's a lot of other aspects to this, more so than any of us could potentially see from our perspective. But like, there's political things involved, there's the social issues, there's human rights issues, there's so many things going on right now. And I think that atmosphere is kind of indicative of like, we are not okay as a country. And yeah, how are things in Brazil?
You got to say it in Portuguese.
Uh, clutch. uh, to the I can't think of what I'm trying to say, even like in English.
Me all the time. Children really do wipe away your brain cells.
Oh no.
I always it's it's okay.
Okay. Vocês no Brasil são tener uma temporada de banda, I think.
What is
I'm just saying, like, are you guys having a marching band season in Brazil?
Oh. What country did we go to? Guatemala. I went to Guatemala with the Blue Devils a few years back.
Ooh, that's awesome.
That was one thing that I wish that they would have done for us on that trip, was I wish we would have eaten more local food.
Mm.
They tried to feed us like McDonald's and like American snacks, but I really wanted to eat like the local food. And we got to do that whenever we ventured out and had like a free day or whatever. But
Mm.
yeah. But they also eat their cereal with warm milk.
Oh,
I know, and we were all at the table. We were like,
I mean, I guess there's no reason you have to have cold milk. It's not a
right,
requirement.
right. It's just kind of strange because that's not what we're accustomed to here in the States.
Right.
But
Do they also have milk in their bags? Like where they bought in bags?
oh, I don't know. We were kind of like at this campground, and the staff served us our breakfast. So I did not see any milk bags.
That was one of the weirdest things in Brazil. Like when you go to the store to get milk, you like buy a bag of milk and then you like cut it open. And like that was how you have your milk.
Fun.
Strange.
Like a Capri Sun?
No, like a like a plastic bag, like a little plastic. I mean, I guess it was kind of like a big Capri Sun, but like clear plastic. And then you like cut the top corner off of it, and you pour your milk, and then you just like fold it over, and then put it in the fridge.
What if it,
It worked.
well, I guess if it falls either way, if it's in a gallon or a bag, it's still gonna bust open.
Yeah,
Wow, that's crazy.
it's weird. It's so weird.
Huh. So real quick, if anyone has questions, I know some people, I asked some people earlier what they wanted us to cover, and I remember someone talking about confidence, mental health. Um, what was the other one? I don't know. So we can kind of quickly go over those just because I feel bad if I don't address them.
We've talked about, like we talked about in the first video too, like those I feel like would be like your foundational first steps. Those going over like doing body checks, doing mental health checks, and checking in with yourself and whatnot. I feel like that's your foundational. So now how do we fine tune that?
Ooh, yeah. Um, how do we fine tune that? I think a great place to start is just checking in and seeing where you are, maybe even journal. I think it's kind of like one of those situations, like if you go to a therapist or a counselor, the more you kind of just get it out there and if, write it down, or you could even record it and you could be talking to yourself and you could watch it back later. I don't know. But just getting it out there and document it in some way will, that in and of itself will be cathartic, and you'll feel some kind of release from that. And then from there you can kind of sort and sift, okay, well, take it one thing at a time. So how can I address this issue? What do I think stems from? And just try to eat the elephant one bite at a time, because I think mental health is such a broad thing. It's not just like, oh, this one thing is going to fix your state of your mental health. I don't think it works like that.
Well, not everybody gets into a poor state of mental health the same way either, or in the same amount of time.
Right.
Like, there's so many things that contribute to it. So
Right. Yeah, just and give yourself grace. If you're falling, if you feel like you're kind of slipping down into the dumps or like a downward spiral and you're not in a good place, go to a therapist, find a counselor, somebody, like talk to a professional if you really feel like that's what you need. And even if you feel like that's not what you need, I mean, give it a shot. If it's really consuming your life that much where you can't be happy and you find yourself just kind of like zoning out and things don't taste good, things are not fun anymore, and you're just kind of like blah, it's a huge indicator that you should be talking to a professional. I am not a professional therapist.
I'm not a therapist at all.
Um, but yeah, the person I was talking to earlier, I was telling them, going again back to that idea of just having a routine. I think we're all kind of missing that. I think you need to sleep at a decent time, wake up at a decent time, exercise, get dressed, freaking get dressed. I literally just have on like leggings or shorts and a t-shirt most of the time, but that's my version of getting dressed. I'm out of my pajamas,
Mm-hmm.
you know? I mean, the other day I was so lazy that I was in my pajamas all day, and that was like, you know,
You feel like you don't even have a day. Like the day doesn't happen.
yeah. By the end of the day, when the end of the day rolled around, I like took a shower and I was like, oh my God, I was in my pajamas all day. It's just such a weird, I I didn't feel like I accomplished anything that day. And I think if we can make ourselves do something productive, like no matter how big or how small, now is a great time to declutter. If you haven't done that yet, you've had a lot of time. Declutter your room, find a routine, read some good books that are really going to like pour into you and give you what you need. Yeah,
Absolutely.
so much good stuff out there. Take it, like, do something fun. There's lots of really fun, like, dance classes you can take, even on YouTube. you know?
Free ones. There's so much free content out there. It's crazy. Trev was just talking in the comments a minute ago that he was going to use our Spintronix videos for assignments and stuff for his team, and like there's so much stuff out there. Like, send it to your friends, challenge them, be like, hey, I saw this really cool calypso like kick turn that I want to try, and you try it too, and let's see who can get it first or something. You can kind of make it fun like that.
Yeah, there's like different Calypso, for example, they're just for kicks, that YouTube channel, they break down how to do a Calypso. So you could do that and just kind of turn it into a, hey, like everybody, let's, I mean, it's honestly, it's the dance educator in me is like, you really should learn with a professional because it's just safer that way. But
Right.
at the same time, I'm like, you know what? Go for it.
Your body, you don't want to hurt yourself either, but
I mean, like, give it a shot. You can try something new and challenge everyone else to do it, and it just gives somebody something to work towards, no matter how small or how little that is. Like, find a project to invest in, you know.
that's perfect.
Yeah.
Perfect. Gio's back, and he says after body scans, um, for color guard improv, pick a song of your mood and watch it back. That helps. Take half an hour a day between the mindfulness and the improv. It really helps. I absolutely. There was a time, a long time ago when I went through kind of something traumatic. My ex-fiance, I had a fiance a long ago, and we broke up. And that, like, what I did, like, to kind of deal with that was just like I went in the living room and I put some music on and I just kind of like danced a whole bunch like crazy. And like, you just got to getting it out there. Like you were saying, journaling, like dancing is another way to do it. You can just put it out there.
Visual art, music, good vlog. I don't know. Start a YouTube channel, start a podcast, write a book. There's so many things. There are lots of kids now who need extra help because they're behind in school. So maybe find some kid in your neighborhood or in your friends and family group that, needs to be caught up a little bit, help them out. It's going to make you feel better. It's going to help them. So finding things like that you can do will make you feel better.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Yeah. I don't have nobody's submitted any questions that I can see, but I
I don't
think
box on my side. Like, it doesn't give me an option to send questions. So I don't know if that's something I can't have because I'm in the live with you, but
the hosts that do that, but that stinks. But anyway, I'm probably gonna have to wrap this up so that I'm not staying up super late.
I hear you. I'm
Yeah.
going to do yoga to the river in the morning. So I'm very excited about that. I don't have anything else planned for tomorrow. Tomorrow's like my day off. And then Saturday and Sunday, I'm going to hit it hard again and work on things.
What are you working on?
Well, right now I need to finish up. So every month on the Spintronix Patreon account, I send a private routine to my patrons. So I worked on that, and I sent the instructional video of how to do the routine already, but I haven't actually sent a video of myself doing the routine because when I was working on it, I got off that day. I had to go, got interrupted, had to go deal with some stuff. So I don't have the July video yet, and it's almost August. So I'm kind of planning on working on the Patreon choreography for July this weekend, filming that, and then probably starting to work on the August Patreon choreography. And really the next steps are, I'm actually taking an online class right now. I just started it last Monday, and it's cool. So
Nice. That's exciting.
yeah, it should be a good time. And then I also have to rewrite curriculum.
Yeah.
Big project this year, which this was our big project before the coronavirus even happened. We've been talking about it kind of all year long. We're changing, and the whole school is doing it. It's not just like the science department, but we are changing the order in which students take their science credits to be more to match up a little bit better with other schools like in our state.
Okay.
Because we're testing students when they're only in 10th grade, and then like most of the rest of the state is testing 11th graders. So we're just
Yeah.
order they take their classes so they can test as 11th graders and be more on par with everybody else. But anyway, so that's kind of a double like task for our department to have to like, okay, you're all teaching new classes and you are having to rewrite all your curriculum. So that's been kind of crazy to do all of that stuff at the same time too. So that's probably what I'm going to focus on over the weekend, and then yeah, next week get back to the social media life.
I'm interested to see how you are going to juggle things when school gets back in.
I am interested in that as
Yeah.
well.
I mean, maybe we could collaborate. Let me know if I can help. I don't know.
we
I don't
should
know, but
we
maybe we can spitball some ideas.
yeah, that I think that's going to be basically my life vest, I guess, is getting help from other people, because um you know, even if there's ways that we could keep doing a weekly live stream, or we could, you know, I've got a new social media team member who I'm introducing next week, um,
Yay.
named Madison, and she's kind of taking over the instructional videos, and you know, Sam has been taking over the reviews and some of the other stuff that we're doing. So there's help. There's help out there. We just have to decide. I have to decide where I want this to go, and I have to stop saying we, because that's not like a shared thing. I always think of all of our projects as a shared thing, and I really need to step up myself and be like, okay, I need to decide this, and then tell
Delegate. Yeah.
yep, delegation. I've always been so bad at that, and I've always worked so hard to not be bad at that.
You're gonna do great. It's gonna take some time, but you're gonna get there and it's gonna be great.
Well, I definitely appreciate the support.
Yeah. All right, friend.
Well,
Oh,
it's been
real quick, I'm just gonna plug myself while I'm here. Those of you who are watching, if you are already a leader or you're interested in becoming a leader, um, I'd love to work with you and stay in contact with you if you have any questions about how you can improve. Think about your end goal. You know, a lot of us really want to be captain by our senior year, or we want to audition for drum corps or winter guard by the time we graduate. And there's a lot of work to get you there outside of just getting your equipment skills. A lot of it is, you know, like a lot of it is mental work. So if you feel like you want some extra help on that, hit me up and I'd love to help if I can. I'm going to be doing, like, my content is going to be based around helping you reach for your goals and just being a resource and a support system for you. I also have services that I provide where I do one-on-one coaching or group coaching, and that stuff is really valuable because I really get into the nitty-gritty of who you are at your core, why you do it, and you know, some of the strict things that we struggle with as student leaders sometimes. For example, disciplining our friends, time management. You know, sometimes we deal with like imposter syndrome or not being the best and having to lead people who are older than us. Lots of weird things that can happen as a leader, a student leader especially.
Would
Um,
you work with adults too, or is it just students? Is it just like
so my target audience is students, but I'm totally open to working with anyone who wants to work with me in that capacity.
I,
So
some like early instructors, like first year instructors,
yeah,
are totally interested in this, but they're like well beyond their
that's
student.
fine. Yeah, if you are watching and you're a new instructor and anything that I said to you, just like really resonates with you, hit me up, DM me, and we'll see what I'll do my best to help you.
Awesome. Ashley, you are so awesome. I love you so much.
You're awesome. I'm glad we got to chat.
Me too. I'm so glad we got to do this. And if you're watching this on the replay, follow. I mean, follow both of us, but go follow Ashley. And she's got so much good stuff coming at you. I'm very excited to see where you take this.
Me too. You are such an inspiration to me. I'm like, man, Jackie's always grinding. She's always posting.
It's constant. It's constant. That's true.
Yeah, I aspire to be just even a fraction of that active.
It's there's a lot. There is sacrifices made. Don't think there's not. That's for sure. But it's honestly like learning how to set your own schedule has been the thing. Like, and it
Yeah,
sounds like you've already that set up of like how you want your schedule to run. So
we're trying.
yeah.
Yeah. Well, sweet. Thank you guys for
Awesome.
joining in. Those of you who are watching, or if you're watching the playback, let us know if you have any questions.
Yep. And we'll link the two videos together so you guys have the ability to flip between them and go back, and if you're watching the second part, you can go back and watch the first part, or you can go back and watch my conversation with Justin, which is kind of where we started all of this sort of discussion at too. So it's awesome.
Great. Good night.
Night.
Bye.